Hello, this is an assembly guide for the mini book box design by Laser Bear Creations. I design all my projects from the bottom up. This project is designed in Fusion 360 and comes in multiple material sizes. Please make sure you look through the files and pick the file size that best fits your material. The inside drawer has two options, either a flat face part or one with a slot to easily grab cards. You only need one. Please pick which one you would like. My project was made out of 5mm material with the kerf settings to enable a tight fit. The magnets are optional, but I used super glue, and the hole sizes are 6mm round, but you can adjust that in any program that you have to adjust files. You also don't need to use magnets if you don't want to. The box will work fine without them. I used a dark stain for the inside of the drawer and parts of the box to help create some nice contrast. I like to use oil-based stains. They go on easier, and I like the look of them. This is the light stain I used for the other parts of the box. You will see an oil paint that I tried to use to make the outside of the book white, and it did not work, but you will see that in the video. I used Gorilla Glue for my project. I like using Gorilla Glue, wood glue for my projects because it makes things super easy to work with. It does take a little longer to fully cure and dry, but I like the flexibility of it, and plus it also dries clear. So the first thing you want to do is get the parts that you saw laying out. You're going to be assembling the drawer. This is the inside of the box. So you're just going to start with the 4 pieces. If you're using the magnets, just make sure the magnets are facing towards you like shown in the camera here. These parts connect the drawer to the back of the spine. There are 3 of them. There are 2 pieces that don't have the finger joints that you see here, so make sure that you get the ones that got the little pegs sticking out. You don't want the ones that have the flat backs. Those are going to be used in a minute. Once you get those inserted, you're going to be adding the back of the spine to this part. I designed this project as an alternative to the very common kind of more round back book boxes that you see. So this is more what I thought looked like a real book and a little bit simpler design than what I've seen in those other laser cut design projects. So here you will see the white oil paint that I used that did not work out well at all. I ended up wiping it off. But you're going to be adding this piece to the top of the drawer, and there's one for the bottom as well. These pieces are simply there to match up with the outside of the box to make it look cohesive and to not create a gap. You may also notice that these parts don't exactly touch the piece below it. There's a very tiny gap. They're not structural, they're simply decorative and there to create a cohesive look between the drawer and the outside box, so don't stress about it. Also, one mistake I made was putting glue in that center peg hole. In this part, I skipped it. You don't want to do that right now. There's another piece that will go in that later, so don't put glue in that center part. Now we're going to add these side pieces. They are there to just close this gap and to kind of hide the joints between the drawer and the back of the spine. They really don't serve any structural support. They are a little fragile, so when you push them on, please be careful. They can break. If they do, no big deal. Just print another one. That's a pretty small piece. I broke one in another project. It's no big deal. So once that's all together, you're going to set it to the side, you're going to let it dry if you use glue, and now you're going to assemble the outside of the book box. Again, here you can see this terrible oil paint that I used. It did not look good. I actually learned a very valuable lesson, which is that oil paint takes a very long time to dry, and it just did not look good. Fortunately, once I glued everything together, and then the next day I went back and checked it, the paint was still very wet, and I was able to wipe it off with some mineral spirits, put some stain on it, and I think it looks great now. Something to note about the design of the box is that it is designed to have about 0.5 millimeter gap between the outside box and the drawer. This is just to allow it to easily slide in and out. I thought that was a pretty good fit. And it's simply these few pieces for the outside of the box. You put them together and you're good to go, and then move on to the back of the spine. These T-shaped parts serve no structural purpose. They're just there to hide the parts of the finger joint. I'm simply putting on a little bit of glue right here. They slot right into one hole. Just line them up, and they look pretty good. They're also there to give a little bit of shape to the back of the book to kind of make it more look round and like a back of a book spine. And that's what the drawer looks like, all complete and slid together. There it is. That is the terrible white paint that I wiped off later, but you'll see here in the finished product, I think looks really good once I got that paint off there. It fits about 60 sleeve cards and anything else you might want to put in there. The magnets work great. I really like this project and hope you do too.